Hey guys, how's it going? Abigail Moss here, host of the Mind Body Free podcast. And something I want to dip into today is visibility and authentic visibility and the role that can play in business and why it matters more than it seemed to be given credit for. At times out in the world when you see all these marketing and all of these things and systems and funnels and ads coming at you. And I was in this group coaching call yesterday, and the coach said, "How do you want to be perceived in your business? Because a business has a perception, just like a person does, and who you are in your business versus just who you are." And I think it's a very valid question. And something that comes to mind today is how I would like to be perceived is honestly. And I would love for you to reflect on this question for yourself too, as I work through this with you, with myself, whether it's in your business or in your career. How do you want to be perceived? And I say honestly because I've spent so much of my life performing underneath masks of who I thought the world wanted me to be, of who I thought I should be to be palatable in society as a girl and then a woman, of who I should be in a partnership with family. Just all of these masks the longer that I wore them, the heavier they got. And then when I went to go and be visible in a more public facing way online as a healer and a coach, as a business owner, there was this disconnect that happened because I was showing up and I still had all these masks on. And I was looking to express this gift of healing and transformation that I am really good at doing, that really good at helping people achieve, like empowering them. Like I can open the door, you walk through it. Um, I'm really good at it. And I was really excited to express what's possible for people in this world who want to go through change and transformation. But when I would go to share, I was bumping into this mask of a good girl, of be palatable, don't be too woo, don't be too much, don't be too vulnerable, that's too scary. And so it ended up feeling to me, and there's definitely still some light and truth that got through, and beautiful clients I've worked with, and magical, amazing experiences that have happened. But I definitely also was bumping into these masks of wanting to be perceived in a very specific way based on the subconscious beliefs that I had picked up very early on in life about what is acceptable in this world. Now, the only problem with that is what is acceptable in this world is one, is contradictory. Like, you can't make people happy. Half of them want this thing, half of them want the other thing, and a bunch of them don't even know what they want. And some of the times when you piss people off, it's a good thing. Sometimes their buttons are meant to be pushed because it gets them thinking and questioning unconscious programming and beliefs that they may have picked up that were limiting them. So if you show up trying to please everybody, it's just a recipe for pleasing no one, especially yourself, because you're not speaking from a place of resonance and truth and depth within you. And these masks that I'm talking about, you could kind of look at them as layers of the ego. And the ego is formed when we're very, very young. It's necessary to live in the world. It serves a purpose, a place. It creates a sense of separation and individuality and identity. But the problem is that the wounded ego, the part of us that doesn't believe we're good enough or worthy or safe, that's the one that puts on all of the layers of armoring and tries to adapt and become someone else to be safe in the world. But that can feel suffocating. Definitely has for me at times. And so when I say I want to be perceived honestly, what I'm saying is I want to be perceived without all of those masks. And yes, there are still layers of identity that are serving me now, the identity of a professional, the identity of a healer and coach, of a business owner, of a creative. Like these are it's like ways of being. It's like wearing a hat for a while I play a role to perform something, to serve in some way. And that's beautiful. And I love it. And when I'm serving my clients, I'm like an open vessel as much as I can be so that the healing and wisdom that's meant to come through to be received by the client is able to channel through me and I can get out of the way of that. A wonderful thing. And that's a way that you can channel and flow and be in different roles without attaching to them. So I can be a healer and a coach, but it doesn't need to be who I am. I don't need to be the one doing it. I can open myself up and allow that to flow through me. So you sense the difference. It's like not as much holding on to and grasping with the ego and just opening up and being a certain energy to be of highest service in that moment. And so, how does this tie back to visibility? And I've seen this in clients as well, when you have felt disconnected from yourself because of the masks of who you felt you needed to be in the world in order to be acceptable, then when you go to be visible, it doesn't work because you start bumping into all these masks because maybe there's a message inside of you, deep within you, that you are meant to be sharing. Maybe you have a calling, a mission of something that's meant to come through you that you feel deep down in your bones, and maybe it scares you. And you go to share it, but this mask is in the way of good girl, or, stay safe. Don't be too vulnerable. Don't be too real. Don't freak people out. When you go to be visible, say you go live on social media, record a podcast episode, or speak on a stage, and if that mask is showing up, honey, that is going to fall flat. It's not going to feel good because people are not going to feel the resonance of the truth that is deeper within you. And you might not feel that resonance either, and that's why it feels more scary. That's why it can feel more heavy, and that's why it can feel like you don't know what to say all of a sudden because the mask doesn't know what to say. The good girl doesn't have anything to say. But you, who you are beneath that, has a lot to say. And so the journey becomes putting the mask down and discovering who is behind it, who lives beneath the mask. And so, what that can look like is if I'll use the same example I've been using. So if you've been playing this role of good girl, I need to not offend anybody. I need to not be too much, too woo, too controversial. I need to be pleasant to be acceptable in this world. Otherwise, people will be upset with me. What's beneath that mask could be an energy that's wild, the archetype of the wild woman wanting to be expressed in the world, who's not domesticated, who is not tied down by rules and protocols, but who has this deeper power within her and these powerful things that she's meant to share and say and speak or sing or dance into the world. So finding her underneath is a matter of healing the wounds that caused you to feel you needed the mask in the first place, whether if not being good enough, not being worthy, not being safe, not being loved, whatever it may be, or any and all of the above. Healing those parts of you within that didn't feel safe so that that little kid within you can realize that you don't have to hold up that mask, that strong face anymore. You can put it down. And the wild woman, the other part of you that is meant to be coming through, she can step forward and lead the way. And that's where you start moving from an embodied and powerful place instead of a frightened place. And when you go to share on and be visible, for a lot of people, what comes up is fear. Fear of public speaking, for a lot of people, is bigger than the fear of having a gun held to your head. Absolutely viscerally terrifying for a lot of people to speak up on a stage in a room full of people. That's because all of those masks come up and they're going to say, oh my God, they're going to find me out and they're going to find out all the parts of me that are bad and wrong and not good enough that I've been trying to hide behind all these masks my whole life. And when they find that out, I'll be done for. They're going to see the parts of me that I haven't been able to see in myself, that I haven't been able to accept or feel within myself, and I've been hiding them my entire life. What a fucking confronting experience. No wonder that shit's scary. But it doesn't have to be. When you begin holding those pieces with love, those parts of you that felt you needed those masks, those parts of you that didn't feel good enough, with love and healing them and reintegrating them and letting the deeper essence of who you are step forward, come forward, then you begin moving rooms with the mission, with the voice, with the message that is meant to flow through you because you have been able, your ego has been able to step out of the way, step to the side so that something deeper and bigger can come through you. And the less you identify with it, the better. Identifying with it is holding on to it for the ego to give it a sense of itself. But the more you can see it as we live in this amazing, multifaceted universe, and that we're all here for a reason, for a purpose, and we all have this unique medicine and energy that is able to flow through us from something bigger than yourself. When you open up to receive that and allow a deeper magic to flow through you, then you are able to create, to facilitate miracles that are far beyond what your egoic mind, what you consciously believe to be possible. Because you don't see you're not the one doing it anymore. It's happening through you. So if you are an entrepreneur, a coach, a healer, someone who has this urge to express themselves in the world, to create with your business, to be of service in a way that is meaningful. Because there's a million ways to make money. We can all make money. Money is, a beautiful, wonderful tool in this world. But if you're creating a business that is just to make money without honoring the unique energy and message that is wanting to come through you, you are not going to feel fulfilled. And at the end of the day, when you are way up in your years and you're reflecting back, making money is not going to have been enough. It's a deeper message, it's a deeper impact. It is a deeper calling coming through you. Now, if making money represents transformation, healing, growth, abundance, being unshackled, then that is the deeper message coming through. That's beautiful. But what I'm saying is let's not grasp at the symbols of money to find fulfillment because that's just an external symbol outside of you. It's an outside tool. When you step into the fulfillment of your higher calling, of what is meant to come through you, then the rest comes, the money comes, but a byproduct of who you are being and what you are doing in the world, and of allowing something bigger than yourself to move you and to move the rooms that you are in. So, how do you begin doing that? Where do you even start? And it really begins with awareness, begins with opening up to what are my patterns? What is my programming? How might I be holding myself back? Because these are unconscious processes that are happening. It is not a conscious thing. You don't walk around thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm sabotaging this because when I was 12, this thing happened and I made it mean that I don't deserve it. It doesn't happen that way. But what we do is we bring the unconscious forward into the conscious awareness. And ways that you can do that are this. There's something that you want to do. Define what is it that you want. If you could have anything, do anything, be anything, just in a world where there were no limitations, obviously the laws of physics still apply, but if you weren't limited by what you believed was possible for you, what would you want? What would you want to create? Who would you want to be? What would you want to do? How would you want to be of service in this world? And then start writing down all the reasons your mind gives you of why that can't happen. Create a list, as many as you can think of. Maybe start with 10. Everything you've written down, that is the unconscious programming that has been blocking you from achieving that thing you want. And that's your personal map of the world. It's not reality itself, it's just how you have been perceiving it and perceiving yourself within it. Because reality is you and I are standing in a room. You and I are two people are standing in a room. What we make it mean is your map of reality. So if I make it mean that, oh, I'm not good enough to be here, I'm awkward, I don't know how to talk to this person, they don't like me, I think they're judging me right now. Those are perceptions, not objective facts. So everything you write down, all those perceptions, that's the programming that's been blocking you. And you can change that programming. And there's a lot of ways of doing this. There are tools to do this. There are tools that I can share in the future. I created a custom GPT and ChatGPT to help people do this. Working with a coach is a powerful way of doing it because you can go deep and shift things deep in the subconscious and move energy very quickly. What you can begin doing yourself is beginning to question these things you've written down. Is it true? Can I be absolutely certain that it's true? Who would I be without this belief? And what is the opposite of that belief? So sometimes these limiting, painful thoughts, they tell us the opposite of what's actually true. So if you write down, I can't travel the world because I'll never have enough money to do that, or I can't feel fulfilled in my business because I just need to get to the end point, then what would the opposite of that be? If I can't be fulfilled in the here and now, what is the opposite? The here and now is where life happens. The here and now is where I find fulfillment. I can be fulfilled here and now. So you're going to feel for it. It's just write down your version of the opposite of that thought and just start opening up to that being a possibility in your world. What would it look like if that was your story now instead of the old one? And you will begin like a tooth, like a cavity in your mouth that's been stuck, causing pain. You're just beginning to wiggle it out as you question these thoughts, as you make them conscious in your awareness and question them. You're wiggling that tooth out, and it will eventually come out as you continue to question them and be aware of them and open up to another possible story, another possible reality. Because reality in itself is entirely neutral. It's what you make it mean that defines your map of the world. And if your map of the world is limiting you, if it's not serving you, you get to rewrite those stories. You get to change that map so that you can experience more of the world. Okay? Sending you so much love. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.